This is North Port Now, where we bring you everything happening in and around our city. From property taxes to the world's largest swim lesson, we've got you covered. Here's what you need to know this week. A proposed constitutional amendment on the November 3rd general election ballot in Florida could change how property taxes are applied to homesteads and how local government services are funded. If the ballot measure is approved, the city of North Port would experience a funding gap of approximately $8.8 million initially and $14.5 million by 2028 in its general fund, the city's main operating fund. This could affect the city's ability to provide the services that North Port residents expect and rely on, including police, EMS, parks and recreation, emergency management, and more. The city has created a webpage where you can learn more about how your property taxes are spent in North Port and how services could be impacted by November's vote. Get more information by visiting northportfl.gov/property tax. Attention business owners. Business tax receipt renewal opens Wednesday, July 1st. The time is now to gather documents, and we recommend renewing early to avoid delays. Any person doing business in the city of North Port must obtain a business tax receipt. The process is easy and can be filed and renewed online. Learn more and get started by visiting northportfl.gov/BTR. Did you know the city's solid waste division offers a 95-gallon yard waste tote? For a one-time fee, you don't have to worry about buying yard waste bags from the store, and it also comes with a lid and wheels for easy transportation. Learn more about this program by visiting northportfl.gov/yard waste. The North Port Aquatic Center will be making a splash during the world's largest swimming lesson. This free global event, launched by the World Water Park Association in 2010, helps raise awareness about the life-saving importance of swim lessons and water safety as a key part of drowning prevention. Participants will have access to helpful water safety resources and can choose from 2 lesson times on Thursday, June 25th. Visit northportfl.gov/world's largest swim lesson to register for the free session that works best for your family. It's time for more commission meeting highlights, where City Manager Jerome Fletcher takes us through the latest city commission decisions and what they mean for the public. Here to tell us more about the commission's recent meetings is City Manager Jerome Fletcher. Jerome, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jason.
All right, so the commission just wrapped up 2 days of budget workshops on June 10th and 11th. You presented your recommended budget for fiscal year 2027. What are some of the highlights and the takeaways that you want people to understand from those workshops?
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. It was a lot of talking. I'm thankful for everyone who tuned in and stayed tuned in, with me doing all that talking. But it was very important. A lot of good information was shared. I think that we need to start with recognizing that in this environment, we have to protect employees and their positions. That was our number one goal for the budget, and we were able to do that in various different ways. But at the end of the day, we want the FTE count, the full-time equivalent employee count, to remain the same, even as we grow, and that's a hard thing to do. So part of the charge and the exercise in the beginning was to cut 5% from the budget, which we did in a way, but it affected our employees. So then we had to come back and sort of keep working at it. And the end product was for us to have a flat budget that we did. And then we were also able to save $2.7 million in it for a potential borrowing opportunity, depending on what the court says as far as the clarity of our charter. Well, now, based on property tax and everything that's looming above us, we need to now maybe take that money and put it into our fund balance so that we can start saving up for funds that we might need. But we still need the court clarity to say, when you do have the money, how can you borrow and, engage the community in that process. But our budget process this year and what we went through was very painful. And it was painful for everyone, police and fire, and everyone participated. No one was excluded from it. And the commission actually recognized that. And I thank them for allowing us to make those choices that were still in alignment with their vision and their strategic priorities as we presented them a balanced budget. It wasn't easy, but we are still moving through it, and we can't budget every single decision based on things that we know may or may not happen. So we have to have a plan and be prepared, but we can't overreact either to where we don't provide the quality of services that we need to provide today.
I know there were some hard choices made, you mentioned, to shoot for that 5% cut, but there were some things that the commission asked to put back in with that savings. So where did that kind of land at the end of the discussion?
Yeah. So, part of what we created our budget on was, employees. I think our merit increases are about half of what they are in a normal year, but they are still in somewhat alignment with the contracted union employees so that everyone can still feel appreciated based on the work that they provide to the city every day. And I think that was appreciated by the commission. But at the end of the day, when you look at the public safety cuts that were in that budget, police was reduced by positions in order to make that because they're so heavily funded by personnel. I mean, they're a $43 million budget, and I think close to 40 million is personnel. So that's pretty tough. And then fire, we had left out 7 positions that they needed in order for a new fire station to open and be staffed for next year. So they took that money and put that back in. And we're also talking about bulk pickup, which was removed. So, it's just a matter of looking at everything is on the table and looking at the services that we provide. But thankfully, we were able to come in a little higher with our taxable value, and the property tax that we're going to get this year was like $1.2 million, I think more than we had planned on. And then we actually had a 12% decrease in our healthcare, which normally we absorb as a city, and that created a little bit of room as well. So we took the room for those 2 things and put, those other 2 things back. We didn't change a whole lot because we didn't want to minimize the exercise that everybody went through, and we need everyone to keep things as tight as possible.
So a lot of good discussion, a lot of good information that was presented. We definitely encourage people to watch those workshops if they haven't caught them already to see what's gone into this budget. But what is next in the budget process for the city?
Well, what's next is we'll continue to get revenue updated numbers in here over the next couple of months. And, as we continue to update the commission and have conversations with them, whether it's one-on-one in this building or we have, public meetings with the cameras on, we just want to make sure that we're available and open to answer their questions so that we can get them more comfortable with the budget as it goes forward. If the ballot question continues to move toward November about property taxes, I think that's a conversation we need to accept right now. It's not a matter, we are educating as much as we can because we want people to be aware of what we're going to do, but we are not sitting here saying that we are going to oppose it. We are not going to say that the sky is falling. We want to have genuine, real conversations with our public and let them know that changes of that magnitude are not just trimming and nibbling around the edges. Those are significant changes, and we can do it. The government will provide the best and highest level and quality of service with the money that we have to do. That was today, that's tomorrow, and that'll be the next day. Even if it passes, when it passes, because I think that it will pass, I think that we have an obligation to do our best as public servants.
Jerome, thanks for all the info and for your time.
Yes, sir. My pleasure.
You can visit northportfl.gov/meetings to view the agendas for upcoming meetings or watch videos of any meeting you missed. We'll be bringing you more highlights after the next commission meeting later this month. Thanks for tuning in to Northport Now. Be sure to check out the show notes for links and more details on everything we cover today. Have a great week, Northport, and don't forget to stay informed, stay engaged, and stay connected.